GM. Did you see a spider? What's going on?
Maybe. I had
I'm
to
only
do different today.
What's that?
I said I had to do something different today.
It was good. Yeah, you caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that.
I can never see you anymore for the first 15 seconds of the show because of this restream glitch. And
That's so weird. I don't know.
no, but you just pop up magically. So don't do anything. There's no reason to panic.
No reason to
if you heard
panic.
A very loud scream.
It was a loud scream, yeah. Illuminati. I'm only here to see if R2 was the arsonist.
Well,
I was not.
people. Okay. All right.
What's that?
No, I said answer the people, and you did.
Yes.
You're not.
Yes, I was not. Yeah, yesterday, I'm not going to say it was like some scary, traumatic experience, but I was sitting here preparing for the show. I think we were just starting to talk. Yeah, I think I just messaged you. And I heard all of the fire sirens, but I live in a downtown core, so it's not like it's uncommon, right? Like you hear sirens quite frequently, but then there was a lot of them. I'm like, oh shit, something serious must be going on. And then the fire alarm started going off here, and I was like, oh shit, that's what I messaged you. I'm like, I think there's actually a fire going on here. So I grabbed the dog. The wife was already out, at work. Grabbed the dog, grabbed the seed phrases, grabbed my coat, and ran out the door. So there was. I mean, I live in a pretty big building. It's there's a lot of units. I wasn't exactly close to it or anything like that. But
is it true what I've seen in the movies that in a Canadian fire they just smother it in poutine until it?
You know what? I know, because we like eating it too much. That would feel like a waste of poutine.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I wouldn't waste a poutine on that. Plus, it might be flammable. I don't know. There's like lots of
well, I guess that's true. I thought the viscosity would act
gravy,
suffocating blanket.
It could be, yeah. Then everything will smell like burnt gravy. Not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, interesting. I'll try it next time there's a fire in the building.
Better than smelling like burnt moron, which is what it smells like now because that guy set fire to his apartment. What was he doing? Sleeping.
Could be.
You know what?
I will say this. We a few years ago changed units in the building. We upgraded to a bigger one, higher up, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We actually used to live across the street from the unit or across the hallway from the unit that it was. And I will just say this, it does not surprise me.
Oh, wow.
It does not surprise me.
You got the tea.
Yeah.
It's the Canadian tea.
The Canadian tea, yeah. No, I was hanging out back with the dog, kind of watching the firefighters do their thing before we took off to go for a Starbucks run. But I saw the unit and I was like, oh, I know which one that is. Yep. And,
absolute unit.
I just, I hope the dog made it out.
Hey now.
But yeah, that was interesting. We also didn't have a show on Wednesday. You were doing a live morning squeeze. How was that?
It was fabulous. We did it from the homie TGB's house in Brooklyn. And it was amazing. Live morning squeeze. It was a dry run for the NFT NYC Melee that is coming in June. Live shows everywhere. Meetups, parties, dinners, conventions, events.
You're hyping it up like it's like some wrestling event.
You don't even know. Everyone from Web3 is going to be there. I'm telling you. We were planning things last night. I can't.
Good.
It's going to be too good.
Are they still around? Are you still meeting up with them and stuff?
Who?
Wasn't Michael in town, or is he from?
Yeah. No, he's going home.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to finally get to see New York. Finally meet a bunch of you degens, including you, Free Market. We've I've talked to you more than anybody else in this space over the past year. So.
I met another Web3 homie last night, Sonny. Shout out to Sonny. He came down to the club.
Nice.
May or may not be planning some things with Azuki and Bored Apes for around NFT NYC. So stay tuned.
I think that's going to be a big spot for especially when people see the success of what Azuki did in LA.
Well, that was it. That was why, we were looking around this club and This is a very special club. This is one of the nicer clubs in New York. It's art focused. They may or may not have a little cannabis there. And we figured with what we saw in LA, especially with star catchers who attempted to put on a cannabis party, and there were things about it that were good, but I had my pothead spies there really giving me the look.
Your little birds.
Yeah, my little birds. And there were some things that we could do a little better, and I would just stay tuned, because the Bored Ape Yacht Club sent a representative. We have ideas.
I gotta say, like, in no way, shape, or form do I think Bored Ape is losing its like market share or anything like that. I mean, it's sitting at 125 ETH. It's still like on this incredible run. I gotta believe that they're ready to pull something big out and try and get some of that attention back that Moonbirds has captured from them right now.
Well, I would expect Moonbirds to pull something out as well and try to do something there. No, but that's what I'm saying.
Yes, I agree too. Yeah, it's going to be a marketing battle, I think.
You got Kith and Invisible Friends. All right, this is going to be a big party because Kith based out of New York, right? Big collaboration there. All right, you're going to have Nike and Artifact. Okay, and we all saw what happened after South by Southwest with Doodles, and then the one-upping of what happened with Azuki after NFT. NFT LA, for the most part, was a dud. Like, it was underwhelming from a convention standpoint, very unorganized, no talks. There were a lot of parties, but it wasn't scheduled well. People had to make decisions, go to one or the other, whatever. It was not what people had wanted. Yet, this Azuki party outshined it all. It was NFT LA. They had that big airdrop.
When you look back on it, it's the only thing that I could pull off the top of my mind.
Right. No. And I think everybody noticed that. And maybe they came to the realization of something that I say ad nauseum on all my shows, and that is that NFTs are attention tokens. And the most important thing you can do for your floor price is have attention on your token. And I think that all of these projects are starting to understand that. I don't think they feel hurried. I don't know if Doodles is going to come out and say, well, we have to throw a bigger party than Azuki at NFT NYC. I just think that they're coming to the realization, as all things in life, it's marketing. And it's, I think that big things for NFT NYC.
Yeah, I'm incredibly excited for it, and it's actually coming up. Like, we're 2 months away now. That's actually soon.
And I would expect some pretty big partnerships to be announced ahead of time as well. I think, when Nike and Kith start to do things, the conventional or traditional world starts to notice, and a lot of stuff coming.
Yeah, it's gonna be really exciting. All right, well, that was a good that pre-show kind of just turned into a great discussion about a few things there. You want to kick this off now? GM Degens, and welcome back to the AlphaMint Morning Show, hosted live on Twitch and YouTube. Of course, it is April 22nd, episode 114. I am your host, R2 Degen, and I'm joined with me, as always, by Free Market Capitalist.
Hey now.
We are back on the stage. We missed the last 2 days. The first one was planned. You had a live squeeze, a live Twitter Space squeeze, the lemon squeeze that you do every day. You were doing it live and with your co-host Michael, which was really exciting. And I'm thrilled that you got to do that. And you said it went really well. Yesterday, not so much planned, as I mentioned. There was a bit of a blaze in our building, so took the morning off to go make sure that we were at a safe spot. But as it turned out, it wasn't huge, it wasn't major, and they got it under control really quickly. So we were back in the apartment within a couple hours, and all is right in the world.
Everybody was worried. They were so worried. I even, at the end of my message yesterday, put, "Don't worry, he's safe." Like, is he safe?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a big building. As it turns out, thankfully, it's built to code, and these things get pretty contained within the units and whatnot. But again, yeah, the fire department was on it real quick, and it must have been a slow morning for them, or maybe they just have to like obligated to take it like extra seriously when it's a high rise. But I mean, there was like six full fire trucks that showed up, and there was like 30 firefighters running around. There was police everywhere. Yeah, we took off. We went for a walk, sat on the Starbucks patio. It was pouring rain. Fortunately, there was some shelter. But yeah, when we came back to kind of like survey the scene and figure out what was going on, everyone was gone. It was like nothing happened. I was like, okay, so this was probably not the biggest deal in the world. But
Does
we were
Donald
safe and
Trump have
sorry.
any apartment buildings in Canada?
Mm. Yeah, he does actually. I think there's one in Toronto.
Nice, interesting.
I don't live in a Trump tower though. No.
No, I picture. I don't know. I picture. You said it was a big building. I pictured you living in the top of a Trump.
No. Oh, the life of luxury. Yeah. No. I mean, in terms of like high rises in New York and stuff, my building would be very, very small. But I mean, it's more than 100 units. So.
Oh, don't have building envy. It's okay.
I'll get over it. It's all right. Yeah. So, anyways, on that note, we got a couple things to go over from the last few days. Some pretty big news, and we're just going to focus on that stuff. Definitely. Obviously, Coinbase marketplace beta has gone live. Lots of people have jumped into that. I think it's looking really good. I haven't actually used it yet, but I think they're touching on some really important things in NFTs. Crypto's going up, crypto's going down. We're trying to find some kind of rhyme or reason. We'll get into that very shortly. We have the NBA drop that went down. Turns out Justin Bieber is getting a bit of an NFT collection there. We have the Cobies Substack article about ApeCoin, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. I know that that's a subject of interest for you, so we're going to break that down. And then, of course, Moonbirds just continues to do Moonbirds things. Absolutely incredible. So on that note, we're going to get into the crypto and the S&P market right now. ETH is sitting at just below 3,000. Bitcoin sitting at just above 40,000. Those are both pretty important support levels that we want to be holding. We did very briefly put some distance in between 3,000 on Ethereum. I think it was like 3,150 at some point yesterday, but it did take a swift drop down. But it kind of looks like we're kind of keeping the same highs, but we're getting higher lows. Like it doesn't seem to be really pushing that 2,800 support level that we're kind of nervous about. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, markets are at a very precarious position right now. The macro market has started to match crypto, which had rolled over a little before. Markets had kind of been consolidating in an orderly fashion until yesterday when they got their knees taken out. And right now we are sitting at very important support on both the S&P 500 and all the crypto charts. We are neutral again, sitting here at 3,000 on ETH. If we go below that, we flip short-term bearish, and we have to see how markets want to work that off. Is it going to be one last bear trap? Is it going to be a sustained move down? Will we find support today and reverse? The best news for everybody is it's Friday, okay? And often we will come in on a Friday, scare the shit out of everyone, and then see relief towards the end of the day. Conversely, sometimes we will come in on a Friday, scare the shit out of everyone, and then it gets much, much worse. And then we have a very scary weekend. Certainly possible. Yesterday's move was aggressive in macro markets, and we need to watch and we need to see. They are holding support currently. The big move was yesterday. They're down a bit this morning. Bears may already be running out of energy, but if they find it here and push it, we could see a pretty rough weekend. Obviously, we look at 2,800 for support on ETH, and yeah, the stock market here.
Well, actually, when we were talking on the pre-show, the Nasdaq pre-opening bell was down like over 2%, and it looked pretty steep. And it's kind of gapped back up there, only down 0.3% now. So whatever happened, it looks like it bounced back pretty sharply.
I think you were looking at the raw. We're
Oh,
near,
was I? Oh, okay.
yeah, we're near the lows of the session. Again, we're at pretty important support here, especially on the Nasdaq. Which again, the majority of this pullback has been tech heavy. There has been an incredible amount of froth in tech, thanks to the Silicon Valley effect. You know, Silicon Valley unicorns, quote unquote, companies with no revenue. With very, very high valuations because we had low interest rates. Well, bonds and interest rates have risen dramatically this year, which means bond prices have fallen. Okay. Bonds have fallen 8.5% this year. Does that not sound like a lot to you? Well, let me explain and tell you that the largest bonds have ever fallen in a year on record is 2.5%. This year is not fucking around, and that is not to be taken lightly. I have talked about this for years. There has been, a major disjointing happening in the bond market thanks to stimulus that we have been creating for various reasons we don't have to get into for almost 2 decades now. There was always going to be a reckoning. You hear a lot, we used to hear a lot about soft landings, and it was in reference to China trying to come down off their growth path. Well, we're doing we're trying to have a safe rising here because, the backdrop to all of this scary shit we're talking about is the strongest economy any of us have ever seen in our lives. That is why bonds are doing this. So we're going to see how this plays out. Like I said, we are at very important support right now, and we are bouncing very slightly off of it. We would like to see a relief bounce into the end of the day here to feel better going into the weekend, because right now they're testing us. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out. That's for sure. During this consolidation, though, as we so often talk about, NFTs seem to be getting a little bit of their life back into them. Obviously, Moonbirds is kind of carrying the market right now, but as a lot of people have pointed out on Twitter, even on the show, this is looking like a huge liquidity injection as the number of new wallets that come online seem to be pretty substantial, and the inflow of money is looking pretty good. So at least we're getting that NFT kind of swell while this is consolidating within that 32 and 2800 range.
The gold chrome squiggle Moonbird sold for 265 ETH yesterday. About $700,000. It had been bought, I think, for 100 a day ago or 2 days ago, or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
The wallet that did that was new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Insane.
The amount of new wallets. Go click through the Moonbird activity. Go click through and see how many of these wallets were just open to buy a Moonbird.
I'll do that while we're actually we're digging a little bit deeper on it.
I think people are underestimating how much of a liquidity injection this is into our market. And I think right now there is a lot people are trying to figure out and reckon. Okay. Mm-hmm. I think people are noticing that NFTs have changed. I think the community meta has taken a real hit, because opportunists have learned how to really imitate that well. And that has caused fake community to spring up everywhere. And I think the NFT world is becoming to a reckoning with that. So where that liquidity flows, I think right now it's a wait and see. I think some new meta is going to creep up on us, and then it's going to set something off. Much like the anime meta did after Azuki. So let us see what it is and what comes. I'm sure all of our bags are candidates, but who knows which bag it will be, and we will see. But you cannot deny the amount of money that has come into this market in the last week. Mind blowing.
Pre-mint's been one that's been on an incredible run too. I don't have that queued up, but yeah, hitting 2.2 ETH this morning after some pullbacks.
I've been talking about pre-mint a lot on the shows that I go on, because I think people aren't seeing what's happening here. they, whereas most whitelist marketplaces have taken the route of trying to leverage good relationships to get whitelist, which is becoming harder and harder. This is not the same market it was 3 months ago, and the way allow lists are being allocated is just very different. And what Premint did was provide a service for projects.
A really good one too, actually.
They didn't go and say, hey, do me a favor, let me get some allow list spots because my, our community was going to buy a lot of your, whatever the pitch normally was for these projects when they would go, blah, blah, blah. Now, the pitch is, look, we have this amazing service that takes a ton of workload off of you. Hey, you want to, in exchange for lower fees, give us allow lists? And now they're going to take those allow lists and create a allow list marketplace where if you win a Moonbird allow list and you don't have 2.5 ETH, you can sell, or you don't want to spend all your liquidity on a risk, whatever it is, you can go to their marketplace and sell it. So now all those cool cats people who won something and found out they didn't win anything except the right to pay $1,500 to buy an egg could sell that for 2 ETH on a market. Everyone was saying it the whole time. Oh, I wish I could sell. How can I sell?
We said it a ton of times. That was one of the great things that Farouk did with his Rug Radio pass, right? Well, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Premint can do all the switching for you. All the big issue was, well, we enter these things with our wallet addresses. Now that our wallet address is turned in, how do we change that? No project could take on the clerical work necessary to make those changes. If so, it would just be impossible. Premint has figured it out. This is going to be their next move. Little bit of alpha. Nobody knows it, but watch. That is what they're going to do. They're going to create a whitelist marketplace that is going to put the other marketplaces in a very tough spot because Premint is now the de facto standard for any project that isn't a rug to set up their all of their minting and allow list.
Well, and here's the other thing that I could see happening too, right? Is if and we might as well just go on this tangent because I think it's an interesting thing that they have going on, and we've said it before. If you have the ability to leverage this community of 10,000 holders with a project that wants to sign up for your service, because the service that you're providing to a project is incredibly valuable, and you have these 10,000 existing passes that can add more value to that project. If you've used Premint, there's the checklist, right? You have to be in this Discord, you have to be following this Twitter, you have to have this much ETH in your wallet, and it's up to the projects to kind of define what they want to use there. But imagine if they can leverage 2,000 whitelist spots for like maybe 1 mint or 2 mints or something in one of these 10K projects. They put it up as a raffle. And not only does it say you have to have 0.2 ETH in your wallet, it holds that in escrow, right? And saying, if you win this raffle, like you are minting, right? So like full disclosure, and I don't have any inside information in this. This is my mind thinking about where it can go and provide value to both the service, the collectors, pass holders, and the projects. But they basically say, if you win this raffle, you're minting. And now that project knows that all 2,000 of these entries that people have participated in are going to be a mint. Everybody on the outside knows, oh, this is a pre-mint collection. Like they're going to have 2,000 guaranteed mints going through because they gave away all of that in a raffle. Like that can be an incredibly powerful thing too, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm seeing it going, is that like you're basically pre-selling the passes.
You see what Bomber is saying?
Is ETH down?
This isn't even a joke. None of my apps are working. I can't connect to the Ethereum network right now.
Oh shit. What are you using to test that out?
Just all my gaming apps. Orcs won't connect to ETH.
Oh yeah, raid
party won't connect. Is that true for you?
Yeah, can't get on the raid party. Interesting. Ooh, that could be nasty.
I mean, I'm watching ETH right now. It's not crashing.
No,
because it can't be traded.
Well, it would still be
it
able to be traded on exchanges because they're just trading checks and balances, right?
Right.
I don't know. That's interesting. I just saw this. It says buying affected due to Infura outage. Interesting.
Oh, it's oh, okay. Infura outage. Explain that? Do we know what that means?
This is where my technical limitations start coming into play.
Well, I would just not like the protocol my entire net worth is in to go down.
Yeah, now we can't even make fun of Solana anymore. Well, that's crypto
migration. Yes, crypto. I like this spin.
Yeah.
ETH too, guys.
Breaking news, guys, live on the show. No,
wow, that would be some burr right there.
Oh yeah, holy shit. No, I would imagine that they'll be very deliberate in.
It'll be 5,000 before lunch.
Yeah, I would imagine that when ETH 2.0 goes live, they will be very deliberate in the scheduling.
Oh, I like this trope better.
Okay, fine. E2 could be happening live on the show. Very exciting stuff.
And Ether orcs are scaring the shit out of me.
I'm not gonna lie. That is where my mind went to.
Let me send. I'm gonna send some ETH somewhere right now. Hold on. All right.
Okay.
I'm this live on the show.
Maybe don't send too much of it.
Fuck, I can't.
It's down, eh?
What the fuck?
I'm just gonna do that. Google, is ETH down?
Oh my god! Could you stop Web3 stuff in Google, please? I'm gonna Twitter. Shit.
Oh, it just says it's down in price. Well, I didn't Google that properly. This Ethereum network. ETH stats. Oh yeah, she's down. I think. I don't know what any of this means. I'm like, oh yes, I understand this. Perfect. Yeah. Uncles, no idea. All right, well, let's just carry on with the show then.
We're like the fucking dog drinking coffee in the fire. What do you mean carry on with the show?
This is fine.
What about Ethereum?
Ethereum finally rugged.
Let's sit here and panic for a second. Hold on.
I need some is there like a fire thing I can add to the
Holy shit. Everybody was right. The normies were right. I'm just kidding. Everyone
yeah, I'm not overly worried about this. So
the fucking Solana people were right. All right.
I might as well go out and touch grass while I'm at it.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe we could actually make this a thing where one weekend a month Ethereum just goes down and it's just go outside, you fucking degens.
No, fuck that. Though I did.
Pi Lopez broke the blockchain again. Yeah, perfect.
Well, if that's all it is, ETH1 palm out to the Polygon 5 on Arbitron API endpoints. Does that just tell me, Bomber? That means that the main net is fine, and it's just whatever fucking services we've put on it that are down. Please. Why then? Why can't I send ETH anywhere? Oh, for fuck's sake!
Now I'm panicking. Look what
you've done. We're all panicking.
What's going on Twitter? I'm sure that's exploding.
I know. I'm trying to see.
I hate when Twitter defaults to not being in chronological order too.
Well, remember when MetaMask was down the other month, and we couldn't do stuff on MetaMask for 6 hours. But ETH was certainly working.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I mean,
okay. Yeah, we can continue. Sorry, everybody. Everything's fine. On to the.
I just don't have any information to share.
I'll keep looking.
Tropo Farmer just said pro tip for enjoying low gas while MetaMask is down.
Okay, good. He's blaming MetaMask. I doubt that.
Well, I mean, it would make sense if you can't connect your wallet to Raid Party and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Look at the gas estimator. If there's still gas going on in the network, it's gas is 20 right now. So I would imagine. Well, I would imagine that means it's still.
Yeah. No, it means
there's pending transactions.
Yeah.
So it's MetaMask. Infura, right? Yeah.
Oh my god,
It's all coming back to me now. Infura was the thing that they had. Yeah, Infura was when they accidentally blocked. Remember they accidentally blocked an entire country.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck though. I mean, I would be taking advantage of 20. We haven't seen 23 Gwei in like 4 days. I've been trying. It has been expensive. Games.
There you go. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on that and see how long that goes down for. British department store Harvey Nichols opens NFT space in Hong Kong. This is, a very, very, very old department store in Britain that has launched a physical, I guess, marketplace, you could call it. They're doing a gallery. They have their own NFTs that they've been putting up for sale. I think this image is just like a stock image that they've kind of like made to look like an NFT vault, because it does say that they will be using blue chip projects only that will be highly vetted and whatnot. So here they say CryptoPunks, Bored Apes, CloneX, Azuki, and Doodles. This has like a Little Heroes and a Karafuru there. I don't think we can call them blue chips, but very, very cool to see a really, really old, long, traditional, like even before Web 1 kind of move into that space. I was actually talking to somebody the other day from the Hong Kong area, and like they were just saying how incredible the development of crypto Web3 NFTs is starting to become there too. So this seems like it's maybe a hotbed for it.
Yeah, and real world partnerships. We talked about this in relation to NFT NYC, but how are NFTs changing? This is how NFTs are changing. You're going to see a lot less, I mean, for lack of a better term, what we used to call rugs, right? Low effort, quick things that are pushed out, and not that people wouldn't try. I just think the market has matured to a point where the people who are here are over that. And the new people who are going to be enticed in are going to be enticed in not by the novelty of the new, because that's what early adopters are, right? Why are we here? The novelty of the new, the ability to be early and speculate, all the reasons why we're here. Well, most people do something because everyone else does it, and they need permission from whether it's the brands that they buy on a daily basis, whether it's the celebrities they look up to, or the news they watch every day. They need permission from that to move towards and explain why they should do something. And this is a sign of how NFTs are changing in front of our eyes. And I think the biggest theme when we look back on this year, and we talked about a bunch of themes coming into this year, but I think the biggest theme is going to be known artists. And not just individual artists, whether it's brands, but known entities moving into NFT. Look, NBA, we're going to talk about
next time.
An NFT drop, right? Nike buys Artifact at the end of the year. Yuga Labs trying to move into real world partnerships and Web 2. So this is what's happening. This is what's going to define this year. And the real money is being made on things like Azuki and Moonbirds, which are large outside entities with known pedigrees and real world marketing that are coming into this space. Watch out for a bunch more of those this year. Don't get depressed and feel FOMO and cope. Realize that that's going to happen 10 more times, because this is that year.
Mm-hmm.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, every major Web 2 brand is about to legitimize Web 3 because they have to. We talk about a lot, join them or die, whatever. They all know what is on the horizon. They're all going through the process of exploration and participation. So.
And you got to understand, companies are always trying to target the next generation, right? And it's not about converting the people who are spending a lot of money now. It's skating to where the puck is going to be. For a decade, we heard about how do we appeal to millennials and the millennials are the next big, spending and blah, blah, blah. Well, now that's moved on to Gen Z, and Gen Z loves digital assets. They've grown up understanding digital assets. And the thing is that they have been able to consume most digital media for free. Mm-hmm. Okay, that is very different than how all of us grew up. We either paid or we stole it. Okay. So when you steal stuff, it starts to lose its value. Okay. when you're given something free from the beginning, you just assume, okay, it's there, it's free, it's this thing, but it's the entertainment, it's the stuff everybody watches, it's the shit your friends care about and talk about every day. It's about the clout, okay? So then all of a sudden, when the boomers come through and say, hey, we built something so you could own these digital assets, now you can own that song all your friends love. You could own that picture everybody's sharing. You could own that sound clip that everyone uses on Instagram for their videos. Well, that makes a lot of sense to millennials. And in these boardrooms and in these places where these companies are saying, well, what's going to appeal to millennials? That's digital ownership. That's where we are.
For sure. Just going back to the article, one of the cool things that they're doing, and I think that this is going to be really important for onboarding new people, especially that have the type of money to just walk into a store and maybe buy a CryptoPunk or a Bored Ape or something, is that you're going to be able to purchase it with a credit card at the store, but they'll also set you up with a cold wallet if you need to. Where the NFT can be securely, stored securely, of course. So I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I kind of went through it when we were, doing the Star Wolves Mint. So they had some friends that were like telling them about it, and they're like, oh, how do I get one? I'm like, so we were going through, and they're just like, and I'm not trying to make fun of them, right? Like, but it's starting from scratch to get your hand on an NFT can be a very daunting process. So, I think that this kind of service is twofold, in that people can walk in and sort of get a person to person kind of explanation, get them all set up, and then potentially buy a blue chip NFT. So that's very cool. I guess if I ever find myself in Hong Kong, I'm going to go check that out. Free Market mentioned the NBA doing the actual Ethereum drop. This is different than Top Shot. They have moved directly to L1 Ethereum chain. And NBA getting a tough lesson in Web3 and smart contracts, because they did botch the first drop. Originally, it was supposed to be an 18K collection. This was based on the number of teams in the playoffs, which is 16, the number of players on all those teams, which is 240 total. And then I think it was 75 was the addition for each player. They basically people that weren't on the allow list were able to mint a lot of them, and mint fast. So they did pause the contract. They went through everybody that weren't able to mint off the allow list. They've increased the supply to 30,000, which I actually still don't think is that big of a deal for, a real NBA NFT on the blockchain. And here we are minting out as we speak. And things are looking good for a free mint. They're sitting at 0.22. I was sitting here trying to figure out whether or not I thought this was a good buy. If you're looking for short term, maybe not. If you're looking for like long term kind of legacy NFT to put in your wallet for a long period of time, I could see this actually being pretty important, depending on which player you get to. Like if you get a Kevin Durant one, or a Kyrie Irving, or Joel Embiid, Giannis, stuff like that. Like that could be incredibly valuable, not only short term but long term. One of the cool things that the NBA NFT is doing is the dynamic kind of metadata. So as the playoffs progress, whatever players you hold in NFT form have the potential to have some of their traits and metadata. So if somebody gets a game-winning shot in the final 24 seconds, that NFT will adjust and shift. So there's all kinds of different stats there too. So I mean, even if you have somebody who goes on an incredible run, right, and somebody that's not, everyone knows Steph Curry is going to drain a bunch of threes, but one person that goes deep in the playoffs could have a really valuable NFT too. I think this is very cool. I'm definitely going to pick up a couple of these if it stays around this price. But again, I'm not. This could drop to 0.1. It could go up higher. I really don't know what to make of the price action of this short term. Long term, I think it's a very bullish thing. I think it's very cool that the NBA has thought this through enough. Like we saw that with Australian Open too, right? Where you owned a piece of the court, and depending on where the game-winning shots kind of hit the court, you could participate in that. I really like when Web 2 or traditional companies come into this space with some ideas and are having some fun with it. I think it's very important. And I think it shows some respect to the to our ecosystem.
Yeah, I feel bad for NBA Top Shot. Yeah, I guess I should have assumed from the beginning, given how many different types of basketball cards there are, different companies, different sets, that the NBA was never going to grant absolute exclusivity to one company. And we will see. I mean, I'm curious also to see whether these are still images, more like traditional basketball cards, which I actually think would be cool. I mean, I'm not saying either one would be right or wrong, depending on how they execute it. But, you know, the NBA going, you know, doing it through their own brand on L1, that's pretty appealing to me. I like that.
Yeah, I just realized at the top of their Twitter page was this little teaser video. If that's what they look like, maybe they're animated, maybe they're not, but that's what they've teased out. So yeah, it's gonna be very cool. We touched on it when we talked about it on the show the other day. The NBA, obviously a very progressive company and forward thinking. So I think this is just it's really cool. It sucks that they botched the contract, but you know they seem to have rebounded. And again, I personally don't think 30,000 in terms of the global market share that the NBA holds is a big supply in the grand scheme of things. So
it looks like they made those on Canva.
Yeah, Drip Cult is kind of confirming that too. You know, people were able to mint without the allow list, and they killed it on the secondary. Not to forget about it. I believe the secondary hit about 0.4 very quickly there as the supply got dropped off, but it's holding its own. I mean, for a free mint, I don't think 0.23 is anything to be upset about on a 30K collection. So. Yeah. Let's get into Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber is actually turning into quite the NFT collector. Obviously, he's got his In-Betweeners project that he was kind of like I guess a pseudo partner for back in December. That floor I think is at about 0.4, 0.45, which is actually the mint price, so it's doing okay. But on Instagram, he did take to it and posted his Bored Ape again. He posted a Clonex, he posted a Mutant Ape, and he posted 2 doodles. Sidebar on doodles, I don't know what is going on, but I have seen a shitload of doodles stickers plastered all over my city. And somebody else that I knew confirmed that there was one like I think spray painted on an underpass on the highway and whatnot. So I don't know if this is a guerrilla marketing campaign or just a doodles holder that wants to share their love for doodles with the world. But I've been seeing them all over the place for some reason. Justin Bieber, interestingly enough, we talk a lot about the backlash that celebrities tend to get for posting NFTs on Instagram, on Twitter. I mean, Madonna, when she put her Bored Ape up there, just got just demolished by her fans. The Beliebers are pretty strong. Like, you go through the comments on all of these, and it's not filled with hate and vitriol for the fact that he has NFTs, and in fact, a lot of cheering it on. So it's really interesting to watch that dynamic. Maybe it is just because, you know, Bieber is still actually really young. He has a very young fan base, I think, and they seem to just deal with it, I guess. I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah. Markets just took another major leg lower, so everyone just watch out for that. We lost that 4350 support on the S&P, so let's see what that does. And let's see if Ethereum is reacting to it not working. Actually, not too bad. 2982, kind of still holding it in there. I think Justin Bieber is beloved, and he will be a very, very, very good thing for NFTs. As you said, I think a lot of people still don't understand what he's doing and what they are, and that's going to change.
No, but exactly. When Justin Bieber posts doodles to his $230 million, 230 million fans, that image is going to be burned in their minds in a sense. They're going to see it elsewhere and they're going to go, oh, Bieber posted one of those, right? Especially with how distinct that style is.
Yeah. I mean, you know, what would be huge would be if Instagram, you scroll up there, turn that little circle into a different shape for people who had NFTs. That would be gigantic because, as you can see, he has 231 million followers. I would argue that very few of them use Twitter. Okay, Twitter is much more of a journalism, information type of app that your average normie doesn't use unless they are psychotic. So I think Instagram putting, I said one of the biggest things that could have ever happened to NFTs was the hexagon. I say all the time how I think people are still underestimating how big that is. And if Instagram did it, it would be gigantic because Instagram is all about the flex. That's the reason it exists. We're all trying to look hot and important and rich and happy. And if all of a sudden somebody sees that you can do something to your profile that indicates you have a $500,000 JPEG to all the people who are watching you, I think people would be very, very into that. And it would cause much discussion and good, happy times.
Yeah, I mean, they could do a bunch of things too. Obviously, they could change the post too. Like the post could be a different shape as well. Like maybe it's circular, and you just know if it's a circle post, there's a NFT there. Or like maybe even on your feed, like your main timeline feed, like an NFT could take up like a 2x2 spot or something, right? And then people are like, "Oh shit, I want to get one of those." Like it's extra, special or whatever. I don't know. Sounds corny, but anyways, Biebs is I guess an NFT degen just like us, so he's going to be an incredible advocate for it. And when
bear,
what's that?
What is that bear?
That's the in-betweeners. That's I don't know. It was one of those projects. He was just a partner on it. Minted. It was a 0.45 mint back in December. It's one of those things. I'm pretty sure he just stamped his name on for some reason. So. Well, it's not doing too crazy.
I could just see his agent be like, no, you got to wear that one in your opinion. He's like, no, 1X I just bought, please.
Yeah.
This. Look at this.
You're contractually obligated to rock this PFP for the next year or something.
Wear that ridiculous bear.
Yeah, there it is. GM Mo Nabis.
Bearish on those fucking bears.
Bearish on the bears, yeah, for sure. Okay, let's do ApeCoin and the Cobie Substack article about
coin. No, I said I will not do ApeCoin. I will not buy it. I will not sell it. I will not trade it. I will not tell it.
Keep going.
This
is good.
Nothing.
No, I knew where you were going with this. Don't worry. I gotcha. ApeCoin, yeah, had a good little run when I originally kind of pulled all of this up for the show on Wednesday. That was my bad. It did hit a high of $17.30. Incredible little run there. A lot of it on the back of news that the land sale token would be done in a Dutch auction form starting at 600 ApeCoin. Again, we've talked a lot about, what I guess I can't say Yuga. It's not technically their coin, but what they have to do now that they've released it. And I do just think their entire ecosystem has to be powered by ApeCoin. Sure, a lot of people were like, well, they can't sell ApeCoin, but, if they want to raise money, sell the land in ETH. That way you actually have money to execute and stuff like that. These guys are going through like seed round fundraising valued at $5 billion. They have a lot of money at their disposal to make this happen. ApeCoin is out in the ecosystem. They've said that they're making it, I guess you told me like the Web3 currency, like they want this to everything to be centered around ApeCoin. They have to power their ecosystem with ApeCoin now. So I'm not surprised, and I won't be surprised to see that the land token is all done, or the land sale, sorry, is all done in ApeCoin. But the Cobie article was quite fascinating. Do you want to break down a little bit of what he goes into? I think it's an important read. It's got a really good retrospective kind of look at what staking used to mean, what it means now, what you're asking people to do then versus now. And he breaks down the tokenomics of ApeCoin a little bit. The article is seems sort of bearish in nature, but as he'll say, he's like, I'm not bearish or bullish on it. This is just kind of laying out the facts of it.
Oh no, he seems pretty bearish on ApeCoin. If you read the article, all right, I have been talking about DeFi being dead, okay, and it was after the Ohm crash and everything crashed back and there's a reason, okay, and it's because DeFi is just Ponzonomics. I know that sounds obvious, and I know it's something that people say all the time, but Cobie has really laid it out here. What is staking? All right. The first staking mechanism in crypto was something called PeerCoin, which I have no clue about. Okay. But now the idea was that you're actually staking your coins for a chance to validate blocks, right? That's a lot like what Ethereum is going into with ETH2. We're moving from proof of work to proof of stake, where you will stake your coins for the right to validate blocks and earn a percentage of it for doing that. That makes sense. That's actual staking for a reason. That is rewarding users risking collateral and doing actual work. In other words, participating in the functions necessary to the continued operation of the network or the protocol. The staking that we are used to, which would be DeFi staking, is really just mechanisms to prevent people from selling so that other people can sell at a higher price, okay? You want to stake your coin for a certain amount of time, and with the idea that you're going to be rewarded in more of this coin. But that, again, is just Ponzonomics. It's just a circle. It doesn't make any sense. You're locking up your coins to get more of something that will potentially be worthless while other people can sell it at an elevated price because you've taken supply off the market. It's the basis of all DeFi. That's why I think DeFi is dead. Now, this is something that ApeCoin, which is set up as a DAO, mind you, is going to reckon with, because they have staking proposals and they are setting them up in a certain way in which the staking seems to not make much sense. In other words, it is DeFi staking, where the only reason that they're really giving you to lock up your ape coins is to take supply off the market. In other words, make the coin more expensive for those that don't stake, or those that choose to unstake and sell their coin. What is the point of that? Okay. What is even the reason for the DAO? And I think it breaks down philosophically why DAOs and DeFi staking, for the large majority of them, do not work or are pointless or are really just fancy and complicated Ponzi schemes. He breaks down, and at the beginning of this article, he does say they called him to consult, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think it was another project, but yeah.
It was another project. Well, this.
Oh no, it was member of the board of ApeCoin. It's literally the first
member of the board. They asked him to consult, and I actually think he gives a lot of great advice in this article about what ApeCoin could do with their DAO and what would make it valuable and what would increase value. If I'm not mistaken, ApeCoin has about a $7 billion valuation right now, last time I checked.
For right now.
Sorry.
Yep.
When he wrote the article, we were at 17, and it was higher. But they have a $4 billion or $5 billion market cap right now. If you were a corporation and you had a $5 billion market cap, you would be setting up a plan about how can I get to $100 billion by the end of the decade. That's it. You have to figure out how you're going to do it, but on a very basic level, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to create value for your holders, and 20x from where we are right now over the next 6-7 years is about right for this type of situation. Now, how can ApeCoin get there? Is it just going to be more and more complicated Ponzonomics that have you lock up coins and assets so that it increases the secondary value because there is a low supply? Or can they take that money and actually put it towards productive means? He does not give necessarily examples about what this is. I mean, ApeCoin states that their overarching mission is to become the currency of Web3. That is very vague. That is a very lofty expectation. I'm not sure it's something any of us want except Bored Ape Yacht Club holders. So what is the reason for this coin existing? What does this DAO want to do? I think these are all valid questions. And what is the point of staking? I want to go back to the exact statement that Cobie makes, right? Staking is supposed to reward users risking collateral and doing work, participating in the functions necessary to the continued operation of the network or protocol. Ape should step back, say, what is our network? Okay, this is Bored Ape Yacht Club's a social network with over 40,000 members now, thanks to their 3 collections, and it's going to increase after that. Maybe they zoom out and take a view of that and say that's where we should lean into with our DAO funds and creating value for our holders. Who knows? But the idea is that if you are going to have people stake something, they should be staking it under the idea that they have to put in work. They have to contribute to this protocol to get the benefits of staking. As we know, with the overall blockchain that we're on, Ethereum, that's going to be through validation, as it was with PeerCoin back in the day. We need validators to validate these transactions. What is it for ApeCoin? But I think this is a very good discussion for P2E, or play to own, as I like to call it as well, because many people don't like the staking in games. But when I read Cobie's article, it makes perfect sense to me, because to stake your NFT in the game and then be compelled to go and work and put in actual production on the protocol, i.e. playing the game, it makes a lot of sense. That is why we stake things. He lays it out very plainly there. It's why I think P2E is so interesting. It's why I think it's going to work. It actually makes sense as a staking mechanism. And the game that gets it right is going to be not just passive income for the farmers, but a fabulous game to play. And I think there's a lot of them out there with that potential right now. This is a great article that anybody out there who is either involved in ApeCoin, staking, or NFTs, P2E, and general really needs to go read this. I mean, Cobie is a savant. He is putting out some of the best work I've ever seen on Substack. He is breaking down crypto to its base. He is, I think, largely the reason DeFi is never coming back. Just the way he lays it out, people go, fuck, it's all, the man behind the curtain. Cobie is exposing it. He doesn't give a shit. You're not going to.
Yeah. And I mean, like, if you're holding ApeCoin, it doesn't mean that you can't believe in it, or that it's not going to be valuable. Not trying to poo-poo on that or whatever. But, when you're making investments, long-term, short-term, whatever it is, understanding his counterpoints is going to be important. And maybe it makes you believe in it even stronger, right? Like, if you disagree, and that's okay too. Like, I mean, we think that, Cobie is an incredibly profound writer and mind in this space, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he is 100% right. It just means that, he's very articulate in framing his viewpoints on it. And I think that's always important to remember. But again, like, it's, if nothing else, this is a very informative article of just about what staking is, what staking was, where we've gone, and all of that stuff. So I would just highly recommend, if you have any interest, just to go read it. On that note, let's jump into Coinbase really quickly. I haven't used the this actually yet myself, but I've seen a lot of people sharing it and talking about it. They seem to be some excitement around it. I don't think the volume is crazy on it. Of course, it's still in beta and they're opening up the wait lists and whatnot. But, I think everybody was waiting for this thing to go online, and all of a sudden it was ushering in a golden age of NFTs and whatnot. And that might still be the case. I think the biggest moment for Coinbase NFT is when I open up my Coinbase app on my phone, and it's just there, like, ready for me to go. And I think that once that actually happens, there's going to be a lot of users that just, open up their Coinbase one day and go, oh, what's this? Click. And then, down the rabbit hole they go. On that note, though, it does look really good. It looks very clean. And, they're going heavy into the social aspect of it. One thing that people were talking about a lot was just like the comment section on there. Some of it was pretty memey, some of it was pretty funny, but it is really capturing the social elements of NFTs. One of the things that OpenSea is often like lauded for, or like, maybe that's the wrong word. now I'm having a break part. People don't like about OpenSea. There's no communication function on that. Like if you see an NFT that you want and you want to reach out to the person and hopefully kind of create a deal, like what better place to do it than on the platform where you can actually safely and securely transact it, right? OpenSea just doesn't have any of that functionality, and I think that this is going to be a big opportunity for Coinbase to really take a hold of the NFT market.
This is something we've been waiting for 6 or 7 months now.
Yeah, long time now. Yeah.
Beta is here. Let us see. Let us see how they execute. Very excited to see what they do here. Go Coin.
It's a good looking marketplace. I mean, it's just I know people are already like they need a dark mode, but I think it looks very clean. Yeah, not that I could see. I don't know. Maybe you have to sign in to do it. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot to come with it. And again, my thesis is obviously once it's on that app, it's off to the races. So last but not least, of course, we're going to talk about Moonbirds. What a difference a couple days makes. I think we were sitting at just below 20 ETH floor, which it was, actually I think it was around 16 last time we talked, and it seemed like it was pulling back off those crazy highs, 20, 22, 24. And then boom, off to the races. As we talked about earlier in the show, the number of new wallets that have come online with only Moonbirds in them, freshly funded, is pretty spectacular. And I think that this is, again, going back to that idea of liquidity infusion. So many people that were native to the NFT space were getting in on that 2.5 ETH sale that was done through Premint. Whether you sold at 10, it kind of probably hurts to look at the floor price now, but you still made a good profit. 20 probably still hurts, but you still made an incredible profit. All of this is new money that is going into older wallets' hands, and now we're seeing some shopping. We're seeing a lot of those like kind of Bored Ape associated, on the other side with the videos. Cool Cats went on a little bit of a run. Cryptodes went on a run. World of Women went on a little bit of a run. Like all of these, like kind of next in line to be elite or blue chip status, we're really flowing down into that. So I think it's huge, but it is jarring to me almost to see it sitting at a 36 ETH floor. It's absolutely spectacular.
To the moon.
That's right. So at this point I can't even call like where it goes from here. I know the supply is pretty tight. There's actually not a lot of these listed. For a 10K project, only 620 of them listed. It's flipped Mutant Apes. It's, I guess next on the list is probably CryptoPunks, and I honestly at this point wouldn't see it. Wouldn't be surprised to see it there. But influx of VC money, very exciting for our space, I think.
Absolutely. Burr.
On that note, we are we're about an hour and 10 minutes into the show. Checking ETH. Is MetaMask back up yet? Are we working?
No, everything's
look like
down.
it. Yeah,
everything's down still, and the market is getting destroyed right now. We are going to, what time is it? Oh, it's only 10:30. So yeah, we need a reversal here between the 11 and 12 o'clock hour. Or it's going to get hairy out there this weekend, which, it could be fine. We may need one last bear trap, or it's all over. We'll see. More coming this Monday.
Yeah, I guess one way or another, we'll probably have a bunch to talk about in regards to that on Monday. So, stay tuned for that. We will be back on the show. My apologies for missing yesterday, but shit happens, as they say. If you tuned in late to the show, that's okay. It's always recorded. If you want to catch back up with it, we did do a pretty good dive into the markets this morning. We talked about Premint a lot, where they could go, and free market shared some potentially big alpha with us. We talked about Harvey Nichols, the British department store, opening up a gallery in Hong Kong for NFT sales. NBA botched their first Ethereum drop, but they seem to be back on the right track and getting things going. We talked about Justin Bieber a little bit, posting a bunch of his NFTs on Instagram, and the reception is, again, surprisingly warm for him. We talked about Cobies' Substack article about ApeCoin and the processes of staking and how they've changed, and what you should look for. Coinbase NFT marketplace is finally up and running. Still in beta, still slowly dripping in users, but it's looking like a good platform. And then, of course, finished it off with a quick discussion about Moonbirds. They continue to just moon, no pun intended. Free market, what do you got going on today?
I just want to clarify for everybody that Ethereum, the network, is not down. There are no problems. That MetaMask uses Infura. So that is why there is an outage. And it's really just that you use your MetaMask to connect to all the apps. So the apps aren't down. Your games are still running. Ethereum is still going. It's just MetaMask can't communicate with it right now. So it's a MetaMask issue, just so everyone feel, which
is by far what most people are using.
Yep. So it's just MetaMask, and that's good.
Well, gas is 15 right now, so if you're not,
I know, right? If you got a Coinbase, do some, if you got any, if you're not using Infura, it's a good time to do some stuff.
Get your transactions in while you can. So yeah, guys, Friday, I hope everybody has an incredible weekend. I think I don't know about where you all are, but up here in Canada, it looks like the weather is taking a fantastic turn. The sky is clear as day here today. Does that make sense? But yeah, I'm looking forward to spring being here. Looking forward to all of the great things to come in NFTs. We will do this again on Monday morning. We appreciate all of you tuning in. Free market, get us out of here.
Good luck at the tables, degens.